Hello, tonight we read in Numbers chapter 9 and Proverbs chapter 10. So do you want to start off with Numbers 9?
Numbers 9 is about the instruction that the Lord gave Moses and the Israelites, and he gave detail as far as the Passover. But toward the end of the chapter, it talked about how the Lord gave indication to the Israelites whether they should go to break camp. And that's why I asked, have you ever heard of that term, to depart, or to stay, to wait? And sometimes the pillar of smoke would stay above the tent for days or weeks or months or whatever. The Lord would tell them to stay. And then if the smoke would move, then they knew that they were to follow. And it says in verse 21 that even unto the morning that the cloud was taken up, that they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night, that the cloud was taken up, they obeyed. And that's something for us as far as when the Lord tells us to rest, chill, be still, wait for my will, or are we one to just go ahead of God? Because when we do that, oh my goodness, yeah, I think we all have done that, and we have had to deal with the consequences. And it says that in verse 23, at the commandment of the Lord, they rested in the tents, and at the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. So we have to know how to decipher the Lord's directions at all times. And they kept charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. Now, this has been your third day at the job. How has it been for you as far as following instructions, as far as, really doing the work and the will of the Lord? Or have you been doing a lot of resting? Maybe that is part of the job, or tell us about it.
I've been doing a lot of resting.
Well, that's about to stop because he's in the school system, and those kids are going to be back in the school. So you're not going to be resting. You're going to be journeying and moving. And what do you think about it? Well, what have you liked most about it?
The ability to rest.
Rest and work.
Yeah.
What about like your contributions? Like what you're doing?
Well, I do some things here and there. It's just good to be helpful. And one thing I wanted to say about that is that it's good to take hints or like indications, or like when to go somewhere, when not to go somewhere, when to stay still.
Mm-hmm.
But also you don't want to trick your mind into thinking that you should just stay still just because it's comfortable there. How sometimes you might see a cloud and be like, ooh, that looks like a gorilla. That looks like a car in the cloud or something like that. So you don't want to have that same kind of like thought process with indications in your life of like, oh no, maybe I should just stay home or whatever. Like I was talking about that today. Like some teachers are just making up excuses just to stay home when they don't even really have to. So like, if you can do it, then I think you should. Not just teachers, but just like in general. Like if you have the ability to do something, like do it while you can, because you're gonna reach a certain age, or like you're gonna reach not even an age. Like there's gonna be some time when you can't do it anymore, and if you're even blessed to have that thought again where you wish you could do it again, like sometimes you won't even be able to have the thought where you wish you could do it again. But but you won't always be able to do it. So don't just make up. This is me talking to myself too. Like I don't want to just make up signs where I can just like stay comfortable, because comfort is like too much comfort is not good for you.
That reminds me, of two things. Remember earlier today they were talking about the retirement of the Israelites, the Levites, at the age of 50. I mean, that's really early. And then you're no longer doing what you were doing before. So while you have a chance, and I believe that's a poem either by St. Francis of Assisi, someone, do all the good you can while you can, to all the people you can,
and all the time you can,
for as long as you can, right? Because we never know when that was our last time that we could impact. Yeah, that's good. And Gideon's fleeces. Those are like, Lord, is this your will? Is the fleece wet or is the fleece dry? The Lord will direct his own. Yeah, if we're listening, if we're watching, if we're waiting for his indication. Okay, Proverbs 10, you said something spoke to you.
Yeah, verse 4, lazy hands bring poverty, but hardworking hands bring riches. It's a tale as old as time. If you work hard, you reap the benefits. If you don't, it'll bite you in the butt.
That's the truth. And you were talking about a lot of rest. So
yeah,
get up and do the will of the Lord while you can. All right. Prepare for work tomorrow. Have a good evening and please the Lord. Good night.